Alright guys, what's up team? I'm coming out with another video. Pretty much you have to be able to voice your opinion. You have to be able to speak. If you don't speak, if you don't open your mouth, if you don't start presenting to people, people aren't gonna hear your opinion. They're not gonna care about what you say. Rather than they're not gonna hear what you have to say. When you think about it, the wealthiest people in the world, Bob Proctor, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Steve Jobs, Will Smith, you take it, all these millionaires, they're not afraid to speak. All right, they speak in front of millions and millions of people, actors, producers, directors. If you want to get paid in life, you cannot be afraid to open your mouth. Now, you always hear about straight A students and B students and whatever. They're nervous when it comes to speaking. Why? Because their whole life they've been following directions. These are people they're not risk takers. Okay, they get the best grades. They're the best at following directions, but they're not mavericks. They're not pioneers. They're afraid to open their mouth. How can you be 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, step into an interview with confidence if you're afraid to open your mouth? You're going to get beat every time. Your GPA has nothing to do with your bank account. How well you can voice yourself, how well you can speak your mind, that has everything to do with how much money you're going to make. How is it a guy like Brad Alkazan can make $250,000 a month without a college degree, no college experience, because he's very well networked and he speaks well. He presents it so everyone can understand him top to bottom. Now, pretty much, if you're nervous about speaking, that means one of two things: one, you doubt yourself, or two, you're just not educated enough. All right, because if you're educated to the point where you know what you're talking about, who can refute what you're saying? For the people that say it's a pyramid scheme, no, this is a business that's been out for 8 years. Okay, if it was a pyramid scheme, BK Barreto would be in handcuffs. People driving their cars with Vimo on the side would pretty much get pulled over. All right, if you know what you're talking about, if you're educated about what you're talking about, it doesn't matter what other people can say or think. They cannot go against you. That's why I win the battle every single time, or people refuse to go into battle with me because they know they cannot win. For the people that say it's a pyramid scheme, you ask them, well, do you know technically what a pyramid scheme is? No, they're going to say no every single time. They don't understand what it is. They just call it that because that's what their parents called it. Okay? Pretty much, if you want to talk about pyramid schemes, let's talk about higher education. You invest $80,000 into school, okay, to receive a job, for the chance to receive a job that you're not guaranteed to get. Okay, and if you do get the job, you're getting the salary average of $28,000 a year. So you're paying all this money. You have multiple people paying all this money, knowing that most of them are not going to be CEOs of any businesses. They're not going to be bringing home these big checks. They're just going to be employees who are slaving away for the rest of their life. All right, so you can sort of make that argument that higher education is a pyramid scheme. This is something where you can start from the ground floor, work your way to the top, and make a lot of money. For the people that say it's a pyramid scheme, do they really know what they're talking about? Obviously not, guys. Verve Vima, it's been out for 8 years. A kid, Patrick Comer, who is our age, is making nearly $500,000 a year, has only been in the business for a year. Okay, so how is it he's one of the top 50 income earners and he's only been in this for a year, but the company's been out for 8 years, and you have people that are making less than him? He worked harder than them. Bottom line, all right? So now you have performance-driven income, okay? You have literally a system where you can make as much money as physically possible. You can make $1 million. You just plug and play, all right? Unfortunately, school does not give you that kind of atmosphere. College is preparing you to become an employee, all right? So if you don't learn to voice yourself, speak your opinion, open your mouth, if you're still nervous when it comes to speaking, one or two things: you don't have confidence in yourself, and if you don't have confidence in yourself, how are you going to expect other people to be confident in you? How are you going to expect other people to believe in your idea? All right, we can't bend metal and fly it over the ocean. It's unrealistic. I don't believe that's possible. No, we've had the ability to create iPods and iPads since the beginning of time. 2013, 2000s, we just found the way how. All right, we've had that intellect. So you really have to start believing that this thing will work. You have to start believing in yourself. Number two, you have to educate yourself, because if you educate yourself and you know what you're talking about, it doesn't matter what other people have to say, because you know you're right and you know that all they're voicing is an opinion. Bottom line. All right, so that's pretty much that. If you do not open your mouth, obviously you will not get your point across. If you don't get your point across, you will not make any money. You have to be a sponge. You have to do what they do, say what they say, and you will get what they get every single time. All right, but if you're quiet, you're not asking questions. Literally, the richest people on the earth are the ones who ask questions, are the ones who stopped and said, okay, I'm doing what everyone else is doing, but why? You know, the wealthiest people are the ones who ask questions, who challenge authority, the ones that did something different. That's what this business is allowing us to do, is do something different. You know, a lot of people say, I don't know. The people that say I don't know are the ones that are doubting themselves. They doubt their ability to make this work. You know, I know my work ethic. I know my team's work ethic. That's why we've blown this thing up during the summer. This thing is going to happen. So this video is for you newest guys who just got involved in the business. Definitely reach out to the upline for help. But number one is the education. Do not go out and blast your friends. Vima Verve, we're gonna make $1 million. Don't verbally vomit on them. Literally just educate yourself. Be able to answer each and every single one of your questions. And when you get to that point, you start separating yourself from other people. You start realizing how simple-minded some people are, who just want to maybe party, smoke weed, drink. They have no direction where they're going in life. They're just doing what the crowd is doing. And when they graduate college and they realize they've accrued $60, $70, $80,000 in debt, and mom and dad isn't paying for it anymore, they say, oh shit, life just got real. Okay, so do not be one of those people. You've got in this business, involved in this business for a reason. So now it's time to take advantage of it and make the most of it, because literally there's 86,400 seconds in a day. If you are wasting time, you are wasting you're wasting opportunities. That's pretty much what I'm gonna leave it at. So do not be afraid to speak. Don't be afraid to open your mouth. You know, my first week in Vima, you know, I was speaking. I didn't know everything top to bottom, but I had confidence. So once they gave me the answer book, we were in there top to bottom. All right, guys. So if you are afraid to speak, you will not make any money in this opportunity. You have to be able to voice your opinion, voice your mind. And granted, it will take some people longer than others. Don't expect to just come in this month one and be a perfect presenter. It takes some people maybe 6 months to become a perfect presenter, but you just have to work on it. That's what I'm trying to get at. Work on it each and every single day, because the richest people on this planet are the ones that were able to voice their opinions, weren't afraid to speak out, become mavericks, become pioneers, and voice their opinion, okay? It's very easy to go to school, get good grades, be that 3.8, 4.0 student, but you go into a job interview, if you're nervous about speaking, if you cannot speak your mind, you're not going to make a lot of money. A lot of this world is just honestly just selling yourself. All right, so let your voice be heard. All right, I'm out.